So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our online book launch for the volume 2 of Treatise book, or the Travels, Travails, and Triumphs of Igorot Cordillerans in Europe. To begin with, we just would like to give you an overview of the program this afternoon or this evening in the Philippines and also morning in other parts of the world. As for the program, we have part 1 and part 2. Part 1, we just begin with the words of welcome, opening remarks about the book cover, and some introduction of our book reviewer. And it will be having a break with Manung Henry giving us an intermission, followed by the second part, which is reading from the authors, excerpts from the authors. Authors who are here will be given at least 1 minute to read a part of their book, and of course, the rest of the program. So that will be what we are gonna do in 1.5 hours. For now, we have participants from all over the world, and we welcome you once again. So from Austria, we have Marilyn. Marilyn, also a member of the book committee, together with Manang Jet. I think I saw Manang Jet earlier. Oh, but Marilyn. Coming from Belgium also, Manong Rick. Rick Cuyob is also part of the book committee. Welcome. From Netherlands, of course, Manang Yvonne, myself, Manang Christy Moncado. We are all members of the book committee, and also Manung Cesar Taguba. From the Philippines, welcome Ruth, Jillian, Shivian, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly, and Denielle. Welcome to the online launch. Switzerland, of course, later we have Irene joining in, I hope. She's not here yet. But Alina is here, Lorena is here. Lorena is also a member of the book committee. Manong Henry, welcome here. And by the way, I forgot to mention from the Philippines, of course, Maureen Loster. And the United Kingdom,
Sally
yes.
also.
Yeah,
Sally
Sally
from
is also from
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Welcome, Sally. From the UK, Evangeline Martinez, welcome. And to be joined by Avril later. Welcome you all. Welcome Venus from Austria, June from Netherlands. And hope we have a good time this afternoon. So, without so much further ado, let's have our welcoming remarks from Manang Yvonne Belen, who is our overall coordinator of the book committee. Manang Yvonne?
Myra and co-members of the book committee, co-authors Kailian from the Philippines, Europe, and the USA, our book reviewer, Michelle Baeyens, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to those in Europe, good evening to those in the Philippines, and good day to those in the USA. We are gathered to celebrate the publication of Volume 2, Travels, Travails, and Triumphs of Igorot Cordillerans in Europe. In the book are authors from Europe, 5 authors from the Philippines who are Igorot Cordillerans who have stayed in Europe or came over for a vacation, and a New Zealand Igorot Cordilleran who was so interested in Volume 1 such that he requested to send his poems for Volume 2. To have a collective effort on the book project, we invited Cordillerans in Europe to be a member of the book committee, and Myra have enumerated all of us. So we were from Austria, Belgium, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. As mentioned in the book launch of our treatise book, Volume 1, some Igorot Cordillerans in Europe in the diaspora embarked on a book project in February 2020. The objectives then were to educate, encourage, inform, inspire, and entertain. The objectives now with Volume 2 are the same. Volume 1 has generated interest in writing among other Igorot Cordillerans in Europe. It is for this reason that some book members thought of publishing Volume 2. Volume 2 will essentially have the similar content with the first. Why travels? As Filipinos in the diaspora, travel is always part of our story. Seeking greener pastures is trite. However, it's still relevant today for Filipinos going abroad. Why Travails? Arriving in our host country in Europe, we face issues of language, cultural integration, family adjustment, and mental health. How did we address these issues? How did our Igorotness and or our being indigenous play a role? Were we able to belong to a community of Igorot Cordillerans in the host country? For the second generation who have been faced with issue of identity, how did they address it? Why triumphs? For us as first generation, we have empowered ourselves and have had a better quality of life for our family. And for the second generation, many have been able to overcome issues of identity. For Volume 2, we are proud and glad we have third generation Igorot Cordillerans in Europe who have contributed the written pieces. As in Volume 1, the book committee members are the editors. Myra Zymelka-Colis is in charge of the layout. Igorot Cordillera BIBAK Europe and MABIKAs Foundation, the Netherlands, are the foundation. Or the, I mean, I'm sorry, are the publishers. It took us around 3 years to publish the book. Since it is self-published, we requested pre-orders to defray printing costs and related items such as the layout. In the spirit of Ipeyas Takunan Gawis, share your blessings, many authors donated a book to the alma mater or city and town library. They have also given a book or books to their relatives and friends. In conclusion, so I hope you're still awake, this book is a collective project. The authors, the editors, those who pre-ordered, and those who will buy. To everyone, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude. Thank you and have a good day. Matago-tagot ako amin, long may we live.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manang
Manang.
Yvonne, for that welcoming remarks. And now, as you could see from my background, I think the cover of the book, which we hopefully, of course, we're gonna also release it during the upcoming ICBE, looks the same as the first one, only, of course, the addition of volume 2 on the text. But to give us further background on the book and why is it the way it is, we have Christine Moncado to give us an overview of the book cover. Christine is also part of the book committee. Manang Christine?
Hello, everyone. Before I'll start the narration, I would like to also say thank you to Myra for the joint effort in creating this book cover. Okay, every book tells a story, and its cover often serves as a heartfelt preview of the journey within. This particular cover beautifully captures the essence of Igorot culture, showcasing 5 cherished elements that resonate deeply within our heart. The wooden shield and spear stand as powerful symbols of the courage and valor of our ancestors. They remind us of their noble spirit, inspiring us to carry forward their legacy with pride and joy and resilience. The loincloth, lovingly known as wanas in our local language, is woven from vibrant, multicolored threads that reflect the rich tapestry of the Philippine Cordillera. It pays tribute to the diverse ethno-linguistic groups from 5 provinces, Benguet, Ifugao, Mountain Province, Abra, Apayao, and Kalinga, who together create a vibrant mosaic of our shared identity. The gong resonates not just with sound, but with the prayers of our ancestors, accompanying us in our life's journey. It offers solace during challenging times and celebrates our victories, reminding us of the joy found in our struggles and accomplishments in this land we cherish as home. Lastly, the yellow map symbolizes our connection to Europe, where the Igorot Cordillera community has established roots. It serves as a bridge between our rich heritage and the experiences that shape our present, highlighting the strength of our connections across time and space. Thank you.
Bravo.
Yes, thank you so much, Manang Christine. That was indeed a very comprehensive introduction of the book cover and why we have the gong and the shield and of course the map of Europe. Thank you. We are happy to have with us Laura Michelle Baeyens from Belgium, who will give us a review of the overall content of the book. But before that, maybe ask Manong Rick Cuyob, also member of the book committee, to give us an introduction about Laura. Manong Rick?
This is the person that I will introduce, and the name was already mentioned. But there are things that wasn't known about her. That she comes with two roots. One is the Igorot roots, or Igorot root, in which on the other one is of the European or Belgian in particular. She was raised in the Igorot land, and she finished her education there. Then this early part of her life must have given her enough base or foundation of being an Igorot. Then she moved here in Belgium to reconnect with her other root, that is the European or Belgian root. But while so when she is in Belgium, she participates in actively in solidarity activities or events here in Belgium. But while she does so, she still reconnect with her Igorot community. So she maintains her being a member of the Cordillera community in Belgium, the Cordibel. And this is probably one of the reasons why she did not turn down our request, but instead she wholeheartedly accepted to do a review of our book.
Very good.
So let us turn our attention to Laura Michelle Mimi Baeyens. Come in, Mimi.
Thank you so much, Uncle Rick, for the very kind introduction. But yes, I'm really happy to be part of this process, and also, yeah, just seeing also very familiar faces in this Zoom call. So yeah, hello, Kakailians.
Oh.
Firstly, a big congratulations to everyone involved in making Volume 2 of Travails, and Triumphs of Igorot Cordillerans in Europe possible. And most importantly, thank you to all the authors for your trust and openness for sharing your stories to us, because quite a few of them are very personal from what I've read. So really a big thank you to you all. It is an honor to be chosen as a book reviewer of what I would refer to as an impressive collection of the personal lives and real lived experiences of Igorot Cordillerans in Europe, but also in the diaspora. And as Manang Lorena says in the intro, there are a lot of books that tell about us Igorots from an outsider's perspective, but we rarely read stories written by us for us. So this is a very important book in how we change that one generation at a time. As an overall impression, this book serves as a platform for sharing stories, for preserving cultural identity, and exploring themes of migration, adaptation, and most importantly, community, something that all Filipinos share. Personally, I liked how many of the stories touched on the treaties, making each story blend nicely with one another as a reader, despite the stories being categorized by country, despite the differences of themes, of tone from somber to humorous, despite the different topic of focus, and despite the different types of stories, from personal essays, from poems and reflections. So while I was reading the book and quite a few of the stories, some of the key themes that I've caught while reading these stories include, firstly, of course, most importantly, that of cultural identity. There's a strong emphasis placed on maintaining and celebrating Igorot culture, especially in a foreign land, which is it's a very unique experience, to say the least. And I think within this Zoom call and within our communities, there we do have slightly different experiences when it comes to that we could share. And many pieces of the stories discuss the different challenges, of course, and the importance of preserving traditions and language. Something that unfortunately is the biggest challenge for a lot of indigenous communities. Another theme that was very strong within many of the stories is the migration experience, of course. So there's this, as we know, there's this very universal migrant experience of dealing with identity, also finding community when you're so far away from home, facing discrimination, of course, especially when you're from a third world country, and balancing heritage with the new culture that you have also embraced because it's now part of your life. If you, for example, have children of mixed race, I think that's even more profound. Another theme, of course, is as I mentioned earlier, is around community and solidarity. So the importance of really having an Igorot community organization in providing support, preserving culture, and advocating for members is one of the recurring themes in many of the stories. And then, of course, there's also something around personal growth and resilience, which is much needed, especially given how turbulent I would say the last few years have been with COVID and a lot of geopolitical things happening in the world, and also economic uncertainties. So within the book, many authors describe overcoming adversity, which is always such a great thing to read about, and also finding strength in their heritage. So not only finding strength in other ways, of course, but in your actual heritage. Even though you're a second generation or a third generation Igorot, I think that really rings true. Um, and another theme, which has also been touched by a few of the stories, is around faith and spirituality. So there's the role of faith, both, of course, the traditional Igorot beliefs that we have, and also Christianity, which you will find present in quite a few of the stories. And this just shows like how spirituality can be a source of strength and guidance for a lot of Igorot Cordillerans in Europe, especially during very trying times. And lastly, and maybe the most important one, is triumph over adversity. So that's really a big theme. Of course, with every triumph, you first have to face adversity. That's how it works. Like, how could you be triumphant without even overcoming challenges? So within the stories, you'll find challenges such as cancer, discrimination, and mental health issues even. In some of the stories, which is very poignant, and it has a very emotional it has a very emotional it leaves an emotional mark on the reader. As for the tone of many of the stories, as I said, some are quite somber, of course, because it's personal stories, but some are also quite humorous, which is great. So it the book reflects how personal the stories are. Like, it offers really intimate insights and reflections from the different authors. Some like in terms of the tonality as well of the different stories, like a lot of the authors, when you read their stories, you could tell how proud they are of being an Igorot, which is really very important. So there's a sense of pride in a lot of the stories being written, which is great, especially coming from the second generation or third generation Igorots. That I really find very very moving, because it's not easy being born and growing up in a different country than your parents. There can be sometimes a disconnect, but in the end, you find your way back somehow to your heritage, and you become proud of it. Another thing which I think this another tone which I most relate to anyway from the stories is being nostalgic, and the sense of longing of being home, of being part of traditional weddings or even funerals, which tend to be quite it's more a celebratory thing in funerals for us Igorots back home. So many authors, especially the first generation authors, express that longing for home, and also a desire to connect with their roots somehow, even though they're in a different country. Which I think, this is why different Igorot community organizations are existing in the end. Um, and then maybe one last tone and the theme that unites the stories together is a sense of being hopeful and being empowered. So a lot of the stories celebrates resilience, community, but also the ability to overcome challenges and just promoting a message of hope amid different challenges. Um, so in summary, the book really presents a very, I would say, a very multifaceted view of the Igorot experience in Europe. Because indeed, like we have different paths to where we get to. Um, and also it highlights a sense of cultural preservation as well as community strength and the importance of identity in navigating life abroad. And we have different definitions of identity, but what makes this book very special is that it kind of brings all of that together. So thank you again for this opportunity, and yeah, thank you for letting me read the book, even though it hasn't been launched yet in copy.
Thank you so much, Laura, for such a very nice review and presentation of the book. And we are so thankful also for your time for reading it. And indeed, you have summed up very well. You mentioned about the title. The title is indeed done in purpose. The travels comes first, and then comes the travails, and then lastly the triumphs, because that's some kind of in order. So, and like what you said, unlike in volume 1, we indeed focus more on the first generation, but in volume 2, you're right in pointing out that it's more for the next generation, second generation, but the third generation even. But the main theme remains is the identity, our indigenous identity. Once again, thank you, Laura, and on behalf of the book committee, thank you so much for the very wonderful book review. And to celebrate what we're doing now, I think we would like to ask Manong Henry Foken to give us an intermission and show his talent in playing the guitar. After Manong Henry, Avril, I think Wendy is here, and she will take over for the part 2 of this book launch. Manong Henry, ready?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, this song is I wrote it because of my thinking when I'm traveling to, then I saw someone, and then it's a lot of experience when before I wrote everything of my song. So some is politics, some is story, some is history, and some about love and everything. That's why I write it, because of my experience when I'm traveling and then looking around, especially in our country, especially in our north place. And then when I look at it, oh, it's better to write a song. Because if I write a song, I sing it, everyone can hear. But if I write it in the book, mostly they don't read it at all. Because we don't used to read, most of us. So I begin to play since 1989. That's the time that I began to compose my own songs. And then I would like to share you now my song about Unga ka at maghew ka. It means that you are young and beautiful. Okay. Kumusta ka kaingan sisa? Ay narag sa kangen sisa. Masa poray amom na. I said, Shede, I seek later ay mailata. Oray intoy ilisa. Ay sik ay napasana. Nan matak pensikan. Amok nin akakarpa. Siyang layat mo ay naros. Ngem nanti tatap ina. Totop si fiat jasa. Nalangak mo kasimpok na. Yapa cerwa yeman. Fakan likep nan papayen. Tayo makasat magkew ka. Ang santanan problema ay karapor-aposta. Ngem nanti tetap ina. Tutup si fiat siya. Ang problema tu'y kapona. Manis Diyos ng progreso. Ang top sinan putek mo. Takot. Naglengan o tasimpoktan. Yapa cerwa yeman. Paten likep nan papayen. Tayo nga kasyat magkepan. Naglang akbot kasimpoktan. Cerwa yeman. Paken likep nan papayen. Tayo nga kasyat magkepan. Tayo nga kasyat magkepan. Tayo nga kasyat magkepan. That's it.
Wow. Thank you, Manung Henry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Wish we could be around you so we could also feel the vibes. It's really nice to hear and go with the tune. Thank you. And that is, by the way, also one of Manung Henry's entry in the book. Ungat sayat magkuka. Right? Something.
O nga kasyat magkew ka.
Yeah, unga ka. Okay, thank you. May I call on Wendy to take over the second part of the book launch?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful, Uncle Henry. That was really, really wonderful to hear. So as Myra had said, we're now on the second part of this book launch, and we are moving to reading excerpts of the articles from some of our authors.
I'm going to go ahead.
Thank you, Alina.
Well, thank you so much, for organizing the book launch also. I'm very excited to be part of all of that. I wrote a letter to my confused self, growing up in two cultures with two bloods inside of me, and there's been a lot of things going on inside of me, so I wrote a little letter to myself, and I'm reading it again. The letter itself sounds very confusing, so I'm just going to read the first part of it. Okay. A letter to my confused self. Dear me, it's okay. It's okay that you haven't quite figured out who you are. You probably never will, and the search may never be over. It's okay to be so confused to having to choose sides all the time. I know it's a constant battle inside of you, and I know that you can't quite put the finger on why that fight takes place. Is it just you and your emotional instability? Is it your indecisiveness, or is it the fact that you belong to two cultures and their values are clashing inside of you? It's never just black or white. At some point, there will be your Swiss you telling you to be on time, to follow that guideline, to achieve that goal. But there will be your Igorot you as well, who tells you to take it easy, don't take life too seriously, to accept the fact that life will go on, whatever it throws at you, and whatever you have to deal with. You are enough. Yeah, so that's a little part of my letter that I wrote to myself, being so confused and battling those two cultures inside of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina. Thank you for your honesty and for sharing that piece of you. And as you said, it is okay.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. For our next author, please, who'd like to share?
I'll go next.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yes, so I wrote one of my contributions is called "Be More Kind," and I read something that I wrote from it. So when my mother visited the United Kingdom from the Philippines in 2012, our relatives and Kailians from the Cordillera who were in the UK visited her at my sister's place in central London. She received gifts, including monetary, which were all unexpected and which delighted her. Best of all, there was a restoration of kinship and the building of bridges among acquaintances. It was a happy, celebratory situation among Igorots who were at that time living in the United Kingdom. The kindness I witnessed then was the same in intensity with the kindness I had seen when I was growing up in the mountains of Wangal, La Trinidad, Benguet. At that time, and I'd like to think even now, neighbors looked out for each other and food dishes were shared, even if it took a person 20 to 30 minutes of walking to reach their nearest neighbor to deliver a bowl of food. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Auntie Evangeline. Yes, thank you for sharing and reminding us of our deep Igorot cultural values. Thank you. Be more kind. Thank you.
The essay I wrote for this volume 2 is titled Cultural Festivals, Rituals, and Igorot Identity Performance in the UK, which is, of course, part of the dissertation that I wrote there. And I'm reading the conclusion. This is the last paragraph of that contribution. The festivals and rituals are not simply forms of long-distance participation with the cultural commemorations in the home provinces, but are means of consolidating an Igorot community in the UK through a claim for an indigenous identity. These performed identity narratives are made to stabilize a distinct community where members can derive a sense of belonging and maintain connection to their homeland. As a transient member of this community, it was a privilege for me to have witnessed, participated, and gained from these collective activities where migrant Igorots in the UK creatively deployed a claim indigenous identity as a restorative resource that enables them, just as I have, to recover from the prejudice of other Filipino migrants, diminished self-esteem, contradictory social mobility, transformed filial relations, precarious immigration status, and other challenges in migration. The regularity of these activities provides a structure of experience for young members as they absorb the practices of their community, which they may perpetuate in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you for this observation and your time with us here in the UK. We still remember that so fondly. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution in the book.
Okay, so what I'm going to share is what I experienced in Ireland, and I am going to read the first part of my article. Okay, so going to Ireland. The country is known for its gorgeous and diverse landscape, but most of all, it would be a great holiday. When the school year 2021 to 2022 ends, me and my 3 cousins, along with our Auntie Lisa, were given the privilege to have vacation to Ireland. I never hesitated to say yes when my mother asked me if I wanted to go, even when our next school year will start a week before the planned date of our flight back. I cannot explain the excitement I felt when we were still on our way to the airport. The feeling that it is my first time riding an airplane, my first time entering an airport, and other many more, my first time. As every experience will be, should I say, a first time that I will always cherish. With super excitement, I decided to make a journal of our adventure so as not to forget any. Thus, I will share the highlights of my daily experience in such a beautiful country. So yes, that's what I wrote in my article. Thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful, Jillian, thank you. That's so the energy you just brought there just makes me want to go to Ireland now. Thank you. Denielle also.
Hello po.
Hello.
Okay. So what I will be sharing po is just the introduction and the first part of my essay, and I will be skipping to the conclusion after that po. Okay. So my essay is titled Ireland Through the Eyes of a 13-year-old. Flying all the way to the other side of the world, going to places I would only see in movies, and touring one whole country. These experiences were those that I thought I'd only dream of. That was until last year, in the summer of 2022, when my aunt and uncle who live in Wicklow, Ireland, invited some of my cousins and I from the Philippines to spend our summer vacation there. However, we had to do so many things before even boarding a plane. Renewing passports, not to mention getting all the requirements, was one thing. But waiting for our visas to be approved was a whole other problem. Initially, we were supposed to be in Ireland by late April, but we were only able to do so on mid-July since, thankfully, only then did our visas finally get approved. Now, arriving in Ireland, I could already see so much of its difference with that of the Philippines, especially on our culture. As we got off our flight, I immediately noticed how polite Irish people were. Their simple yet regular use of magic words like sorry, thank you, and excuse me was only one of the many things I noticed about them. Not to mention how gentle they are with their words in general, too. The fact that barely anyone was wearing face masks caught my attention also. My uncle later explained that the COVID-19 pandemic was merely treated like a common cold in Ireland. My cousins and I weren't really used to the fact since the pandemic was still a big thing back in the Philippines. Thus, it's funny sometimes when we forget about it and try to find our face mask out of instinct, even if we didn't require nor have one in the first place. So that's just like the introduction of my essay po. I will be skipping na lang to the conclusion of my essay. So, truly, the summer of 2022 felt like a movie. It was a life-changing experience as staying in Ireland not only made my family grow even closer, but also did it make me grow as a person. My random yet deep talks with my cousins about the little things in life made my stay all the more special. We all grew in our own little ways as we experienced different places, different cultures, all the while having the luxury of enduring the gift of life. If that isn't what makes up a good summer, I don't know what does. That's it po.
Thank you so much. That sounds like a wonderful summer adventure, but also very heartfelt. I could also hear the heartfelt account too. Thank you. Thank you.
So since my essay is quite similar to my my family, I'll just be reading a very short portion of it. From the beautiful streets full of buildings, different buildings, to the refreshing meadows and grasslands, this is my exact description of Ireland. When my auntie who lives in Ireland invited me and some of my cousins for a visit during our vacation, I was thrilled. The thought of revisiting the country for the third time excites me because I am now older and do not remember much from about my previous visits. Thus, I willingly agreed and we flew there in July of 2022. The first 2 summers spent there were so different. Being young then, I did not take any notice of the significant difference between the Philippines and Ireland. A European country, I did not remember the places my auntie or my uncle brought me, or what would have been new for me at that time. Thankfully, we have photos or videos that we can look back and rekindle our memories anytime. So yes, that's all that I'll be reading.
Thank you, Sisvian. It's very exciting to have you, all three of you from the Philippines, give that heart-rending accounts of your times in Ireland and Europe. Okay, now we're moving on. We can go back to Austria, if we can. Marilyn?
Hi, sorry, I now finally found my article on my laptop. And yeah, as I'm not, I won't be able to participate the conference in Belgium, but my sister and my mom will. I would just read 2 short paragraphs from my article. It's about how I reconnected with my Filipino roots, and it's just from the beginning.
No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Growing up in Vienna, Austria, I never really questioned my identity. It was my day-to-day reality. Every morning, my dad will get up early and pray in front of his little altar, praying in Hindu and me not understanding one word. My mom would cook Filipino dishes every day, adobo, pancit, khichdi, and I would never question if it's normal for others. My parents were very mysterious when it came to our origins. Here and there, I would get some bits about our ancestors. My family on my mother's side coming from the mountains of the Philippines. And my dad said he literally hiked all the way from New Delhi to Vienna. He probably just said that to tease me. I remember when we were still kids, we visited a family in Baguio City. We went to a park where we got dressed with a thick, colorful fabric and a feather crown. My older half-brother, Cuyob, handed me a stick and told me to smile. He took a photo of me being dressed and called me an Igorot. Back then, I didn't understand what that word meant. Yes, so that's my contribution, and yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marilyn. And even though you won't be with us in person, I know that your mother and your sister will be there to represent. But also thank you so much for all the work you've been doing behind the scenes to help with the book committee and with our recent stuff online as well. It's a lot of help. Thanks.
Yeah, almost means how we call that in English, we feel in love with someone, but other parents don't like this person, and then we call it almost, and then until now and then it's happened. We can see that it's gone, but it still happen. So I mean here that you can You can show how rich you are. You can show how poor you are, and then it's like identification. And then sometimes it's hurt, but it's true. That's why at the end I laugh only. That's my song.
Wow. Okay. So poetic. Thank
Hello.
you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, yes. I am a mother of one of the authors. Sorry,
Wonderful.
I cannot hold my emotion.
Thank you. Okay.
Bear with me. I'm a
Very
mother of
important.
one of the authors here. Oh, I was
Rennie
just
June is the
reading.
mother of Jansiel. Jansiel is one of the
Maya.
authors. Yeah, and thank you for being here, June. And yes, please go on.
Yeah, my daughter cannot make it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So I would just like to share her. Ang hirap kasi being a mother and then reading this. It makes you always emotional, of course. Whew, ang hirap kasi. Okay. You cannot imagine that your daughter have gone through this. Okay, I just go to the lines. Okay. Suddenly, five guys came to me and dragged me somewhere in a hallway. I was holding my phone in my hands when they suddenly pressed me down. The floor was even very dirty. Trash everywhere. Someone took my phone and showed me how to press the end call button while smiling. I couldn't fight at all. They raped me in every way possible. I screamed for help. Why isn't anyone coming? People obviously live here. There were many doors. But why isn't anyone coming? Hindi ko tuloy but why isn't anyone coming? Can't they hear anything? Why is this happening? What have I done for them to do this to me? I tried struggling, but it was no use. One of them held my neck very tight. It was hard to breathe. I cried and did my best to fight. The next thing I knew, there was a gun pointed at my head. If you dare make things difficult for us before we finish, we'll fucking kill you, shoot you. I didn't want to die. I remember desperately praying for someone to help me. Everything hurts. I felt like dying. I was exhausted. After a long time of being tossed around like a rug, they stopped. Finally, it ended. Ang hirap. So much. Yeah, it's like I cannot read it. The first time I read it, like this, and it's like I don't want to read it again. And now, I heard, the book is being launched, and the feeling come again, and I have to take this courage to read it again. For her. And I thank you very much. Congratulations for launching the book. And I am excited to get my copy, and I have the courage again to read it. Oh.
Wow. Thank you for indeed the courage and the bravery to to read such such a powerful account from your daughter, who's incredibly brave and
Yes.
incredibly courageous to put pen to paper of that harrowing experience. I hope that there's some healing happening for you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but we are doing fine now. Yes.
Praying for you all. But thank you so much, June, for sharing that with all of us.
Yes.
May I read the poem of Ilyan? He is my grandson.
Of course.
He is not around, so I will read it for him. Actually, we did this together. He made it first, and then I added some. A Swimming Pool in the Forest by Ilyan Taguba. A swimming pool in the forest has seldom been done. Against all odds, people created one. The swimming pool we went to opens only when it is 21 degrees Celsius and higher, rain or shine, cloudy or clear sky. We can only buy tickets online, so one time when the temperature was 29 degrees Celsius, all tickets were sold out. The second ticket was free. With this offer, around 750 people came. Everyone enjoyed the weather. It was predicted on a Monday that on a Saturday it would be 29 degrees Celsius and sunny. I want to go swimming, said grandfather. I don't want to if it is only the two of us. Our belongings might be stolen, said grandmother. Nobody will steal our things, she said. The plan was put off. Later, we learned there will be some rain. We decided to go anyway. Now, I am here with grandfather and grandmother waiting for the rain. The swimming pool is less crowded, around 100 people more or less. It was only cloudy after all. Children are jumping in the pool. Children are shouting. A mother is running after her son. He wants to go to the water alone. We see 3 women vaping, passing on the vape to each one. 5 meters in front of us, it smells sweet. Boys are playing with the ball. That's pretty neat. There's a baby slide. A small kid wants to play. There's a swing about 7 meters to our right, where a mother brings child safely seated. An empty plastic dancing on the ground, where once there were cheese sticks, is now nowhere to be found. It's almost 3 p.m., so cloudy it might rain. We have to seek shelter. If we have to leave, it's for the better. That's the poem of Ilyan. He's 14 years old. He was 13 last year.
What a writer, like his grandmother. My goodness, so cute. Thank you for that.
Just
Can't
read
wait.
the poem, The Blank Wall. It's a short one. Maybe, just maybe, you're wondering if you stumbled on this weird article. You see, I'm a writer writing about anything. I'm writing down what ideas or thoughts that wallow in this brain of mine. Just write in type and write that sometimes the flow of thoughts even wanders. Matching wits with intellectuals and scholars makes me wonder if I should move over or run away and hide deep under. Because hearing their names and titles makes me quiver and shiver. But as I faced the blank wall, I could see behind it all the shadows that befall, as well as the writings behind the wall. In this part of town, as the Igorot stares at the blank wall, flashes of her life begin to splatter, shattering the blank wall that is covering her bright future, rousing the soul which is in deep slumber, giving the whole being a profound awakening, knowing that life must go on like the changes in every season. Thank you. That's my blank wall.
Thank you for that. Wonderful.
Welcome.
Thank
I
you.
just read the last part of my article, if that's okay.
Yes.
Indeed, there are so many reasons why life here is becoming enjoyable every day, despite being so far away from home. These are the same reasons why I invited some of my family, especially nephews and nieces, to visit at intervals. So they too can experience what I am talking about when I tell them stories about Ireland. Of course, YouTube or Google is so accessible now when you want to know about some places, but experiencing it in the flesh surely has a greater impact. And by God's provision, I will continue to invite and motivate family members to visit this beautiful country. I equally encourage more Kailians to come and explore Ireland, a country surrounded with greenery and trees that will definitely remind you of your home, no matter which part of the Cordillera you will be coming from. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Are you the one who sponsored your nieces and nephews who we just heard from the
Yes,
Philippines?
ma'am.
Oh,
So I was
yes.
challenged when everybody talked, when there's also supposedly just Jillian is supposed to share part of her article. But when you called them and they were able to talk, no problem. I said, I have to do it too.
Wonderful. What a kind and generous auntie you are. Thank you, Judith. Thank you.
No worries.
May I say something? When I was reading the articles of Jillian, Sivian, and Denielle, you did not have to go to Ireland anymore when you read their three stories. So nice.
Yeah. So, hi everyone, I'm Henny. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who just read out their stories. It was very inspiring to me because Igby is very close to my heart because my cousins and me have been going, I think what's the last two? Yeah, the last two in Austria and the Netherlands. And it was just, it's very unforgettable experiences that we had there. So, yeah. So context for my poem, it's called Whitewashed. And I wrote this because I had a close Igorot friend, right? She's very close to me. But she said something to me and it made me feel very upset. And I wrote this, she said it, and I was so upset. I just went home and wrote this amazing poem that I've also redrafted and added another stanza to. So, okay. Whitewashed. I'm British American, born into this Filipino race. When some people look at me, it's like I have a different face. They ask me where I'm from, and I don't know what to say, if I'm from here or a different place. Anyway, I tell them where I'm from, and they say me too, and I look at them like they're a new friend too. When you're a third generation Filipino, some seconds won't treat you the same, some won't treat you like an equal, and some will look at you in shame. Whitewashed, you're whitewashed, born into this country's name. You look at yourself and think, am I to blame? My parents are second gen for all that I know, forced to change their ways to fit into society we know. I may not eat rice every day like you, but I know that I'm Filipino Asian, just like you. I am British American, born into this Filipino race. I don't care what you say. I don't discard my Filipino race. I don't do what you do, nor do I speak Filipino too. I find myself different and unique to you. My parents aren't whitewashed and have never been. There's a spirit of the eagle that lies within that we dance and praise to this very day. I am Filipino, born into this race, and I do not cower in disgrace. That's the end of my.
Wow. Very nicely written.
Okay. Yeah, it was when I wrote the poem, I was trying to make sure that people knew that even though I was living somewhere else and my grandparents, immigrated to both America and the UK, that I hadn't that my dad was teaching me our culture and that I still remembered who I was, even though, I've never lived in the Philippines. I've been a couple times, and I just want to show people that I can be connected, but not be there at the same time.
Very good. Very good.
Right. Uncle Cesar, are you ready to? Oh, there you are. I can see you now.
Sorry for all of this delay, technical and sometimes my hearing aid. Kasi I think in this group, I'm the oldest at 81. And I am very happy to hear the second and third generation most inspiring. It gives me a feeling that our generation have done its possible best to inculcate certain values to our second and third generation. It's so nice to read them, and I look forward to read their stories and their poems on their travel trips, travel triumphs and trips. Let me read a poem I wrote during our clan reunion in the Philippines when we went there. And it goes this way: smiles and laughter, firm hug and handshakes, and the stories of yesteryears trigger memories of decades gone by. Continuous and discontinuities, coming and going, birth and aging, ebb and flow, rhyme and rhythm. A movement of the unity of opposites give birth to the new. The spiral flows unfolds in all of its splendor. It's a poem of recognizing our being rooted in our ancestral values and culture, at the same time expressing hope for the future. Salamat!
Wow, thank you so much, Uncle Cesar. A legend and a founding pioneer of IGBY. Thank you so much. Can we move to Marilyn to read out the donors?
Yes, I would like to thank, first of all, everyone for contributing, and also to all the donors and to their recipients that I'm going to read. So it's a bit a longer list, so bear with me. I would like to acknowledge and thank Christina Moncado. She will donate copies to the guest speakers at the 12th ICB conference in Belgium, and also to the resource persons. And she will also donate books to the Benguet Provincial Library. Then she and Glenn Palangan-Yamoyam, they will donate books to the Virek Library, Tuding Barangay Library, and the Itogon Municipal Library. Thank you very much. Also, we have Ruth Tindaan, I think from the Philippines, sorry. She will donate books to the Benguet Provincial Library, the City Library of Baguio, and the University of the Philippines Baguio Library, and the Cordillera Regional Science High School. Thank you for that. Then we have Anjali Marilla. I hope I'm pronouncing the names right. She will donate books to the anthropology departments of some universities, including the Université Libre de Brussels and the Catholic University in Leuven. And she will also donate books to the University of Baguio, the University in Diliman, and the Ateneo de Manila. Then we got also Lydia Soliba. She will donate books to the Bontoc Provincial Library and the Bontoc Municipal Library, and I guess to her husband, Tony Soliba.
The son.
Oh, the son, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I just read the last name. Yeah, then we got also Tita Myra-Colis. She will donate books to the primary schools and high schools in Benguet. Thank you for that. We got Evangeline Martinez. She will donate books to the Vangal Elementary School and Talingoroy Elementary School in La Trinidad, also to the Don Mariano Marcos Elementary School and the University of Baguio Science High School in Baguio City. Then we also have Lorena Dumanag-Claire. She will donate the book to the St. Louis University Library, the St. Louis School Center Elementary, and the high school. Thank you for all your contributions. We also have Iron Kelly Rutiman. She will donate the book to the Mountain Province State University, the Bontoc Municipal Library, and St. Vincent's High School in Bontoc. And Diana Baldo-Denser, she will donate a book to the St. Mary's Schools in Sagada and the Sagada Central School. And also my mom, Judith Gal Velasco Magoo, she will donate a few copies to the Baguio City Public Library and also to the Igorot Stone Kingdom Cultural Building in Baguio, and also to our hometown municipality, in Sabangan and the one in Tuba Benguet, and the rest of the copies she will donate for our Rambak Austria members and friends here in Vienna. Also, we have Celso Rodrabaldo. He will donate to the BCAU Alumni Association, to the Don Bosco High School in Baguio, the Gonogon Bontoc Elementary School, and also another New Zealand recipient. Am I correct? I hope so. Then we also have Renijun Abaya. She will donate a book to Janisiel Abaya in Baguio City. Enric Cuyob will also donate a few copies to the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, the CBCP, and the Indigenous People Secretariat, and also some individual people. We also have Julia Gaston from France. She will donate a book to Aurelia Vagien in Abra. And Judith Balangyao-Bowens will gift the book also to their priests. We also have Jillian Balangyao-Guiniawan. She will donate a copy to the so-called Bakian Guiniawan Elementary School. And almost there. We also have Denielle Balangyao Dungala. She will donate a few copies to the Philippine Science High School Cordillera Administrative. And we have Sivsian Ted Balangyao Tadeo, who will donate a book to the Hope Christian Academy. Also, of course, we have our coordinator, Yvonne Kakayan Belen. She will donate a few copies to the SLU Igorot Museums for Culture and Arts in Mountain Province, to the General Comprehensive High School and the main library, also to the University of Baguio in Diliman and Quezon City, and the University College of Education at Diliman too. And last but not least, thank you also to Cesar Tomilas Taguba, who will donate copies to the Benguet State University, the Adaoy National High School in Benguet, and the Ecumenical Theological Seminary in Baguio City. So as you can see, our book will be contributed to all of Cordillera region. And thank you for everyone for donating and contributing to this. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Wow, we are very blessed with our donors. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marilyn, for reading that all out. I think it's still important that we do, because we need to acknowledge and really highlight to everyone our thanks to everyone's donations of these books that will be going far and wide into the schools in the Philippines. Okay, next is words of thanks from Lorena.
Yes, that's me. Today, we don't just celebrate a book launch, we celebrate us, the authors of this book. We celebrate our shared heritage, our individual journeys, and the collective Igorot Cordilleran strength that binds us together. We celebrate the courage it took to share our truths, allowing readers to witness our experiences as well as our vulnerabilities. As Laura mentioned earlier, some of the stories are very personal. We have witnessed this firsthand through Rooney June, as she read the expert from her daughter as well. And we also celebrate the indelible mark that each of us make on the European landscape, enriching it with a tinge of our Igorotness. Now, it is with immense pride and heartfelt honor that we acknowledge the brilliant stars of this book, the 52 authors who have poured their hearts and souls onto these pages. Allow us to recognize each of you by name, your roots, to celebrate your individual contributions and the unique thread each of you has woven into the magnificent tapestry that is the 3 T's of Igorot Cordillerans in Europe, Volume 2. I'm going to read the names that are arranged alphabetically. Okay, so we have there Jenziel Abaya, who comes, I believe, from Baguio. And she has, as we have heard from Renny June in her sharing, she has lived for some years in the Netherlands. We have Andre Jim Angad of Sagada, who currently also lives in the Netherlands. Diana Denzer Baldo, who is from Sagada, and she currently lives in Switzerland. Celso Roger Baldo, who grew up in Baguio. Aberlado or Abe Lamsin Bangsoy of Tajan, who currently lives in the United Kingdom. Yvonne Kayan Belen of Bontoc currently lives in the Netherlands. Judith Balangyao-Bowens, whose parents are from Bissau, she currently lives in Ireland. Ira Kajogan, who is born in Bontoc, she grew up in Baguio and currently lives in Switzerland. Averel Lois Ave, Sepulcre Calde, whose parents are from Bauco, and she currently lives in the UK. She's 10 years old, as you can see there. Sabrina Lavanet Ngasaw, Kangat, her parents are from Busao and Mangkayan, and she currently lives in the UK as well. Leonora Doclis Capili from Busao and Tajan, she currently lives in the UK. Fredel Lacochao Changat, who grew up in Lepanto but has Bontoc roots and currently lives in Finland. Myra Zymelka-Colis, who grew up in Baguio and she currently lives in the Netherlands. We have Marivon Pumihik Cuyob, who's born in Belgium with parents from Ifugao Mountain Province and Benguet, and she currently lives in Belgium. We have Rick Cuyob, with Bontoc and Benguet roots. He lives in Belgium. Yours truly, Lorena Clerc-Domanog, who comes from Kiltepan Sagada, grew up in Bontoc, and currently lives in Switzerland. We have Denielle Balangyao-Dungala, whose parents are from Busao and who now lives in La Trinidad, in the Philippines. But as we have heard earlier, she came for a visit in Ireland for the summer break. Benjamin Jam Espada Jr., she's from Benguet of Kalanguya and Kankanaay roots, and she currently lives in Finland. Henry Foken is from Ginaang Bontoc, and he lives in Switzerland. Julia Geston, whose parents are from Mountain Province, and she lives in France. Jillian Balangyao Guiniawan, mother is from Busao. They now live in Ampukaw, Itogon, where her father is from, and they went for a holiday in Ireland, as we have heard earlier. Lenny Depinos Israel of Akup Tublay and Baguio roots. She has lived in the UK for a while, and she now lives in Baguio. Linda Kansai, born in Lepanto, Benguet, and she now lives in the UK. Lita Jane Kilip, from Sagada, and she now lives in the US. Alina Kilongan, her father is from Sagada and her mother is from Bern, Switzerland. She now lives in Switzerland. Carne Rosal Padayaw Layao, whose parents are from Sagada and Busao, and he now lives in the UK. George Londob is from Cervantes, but his ancestors come from the Mountain Province. He now lives in Switzerland. Ivory Uyaan Lumanog of Baknotan, La Union, and he has lived in Germany. Judith Gal Velasco Mago of Sabangan, and she now lives in Austria. Marilyn Velasco Magoo, her mother is from Sabangan. She now lives in Austria. Elijah Martinez, his parents are from Benguet, and he lives in the UK. He's a second generation. Evangeline Martinez, who grew up in Baguio and Benguet, she now lives in the UK. Igorot Udanay Pooten Masfere, whose parents are from the Mountain Province. She now lives in the UK. Rice Bagano James Pooten Masfery. They trace their roots from Mountain Province. He also lives in the UK. Christina Moncado, Benguet Kankanaay, who grew up in Itogon, and she now lives in the Netherlands. Archibald Nabus of La Trinidad, who now lives in the UK. Grace Nabus is from La Trinidad, and she lives in the UK as well. Aurora Pascual Pasio of Abra, who now lives in the Netherlands. Benjamin Baliao Pasamonte Jr., who comes from Sison, Pangasinan, but he considers himself from the Ibagwes or Bago tribe, and he lives in the UK. Jamie Abigail Pooten, parents are from Busao, Sagada, and Bontoc, and she now lives in the UK. Irene Kale Rutiman is from Bontoc. She lives in Switzerland. Lydia Amongan Suliba of Mountain Province. She lives in Germany. Sivian Balangyao Tadeo, his parents are from Busao and Itogon, who now lives in the Philippines but has visited Ireland for a few times. Cesar Tumilas Taguba of Kabayan Benguet, who lives in the Netherlands. Ilian Taguba, his parents are from Kabayan and Bontoc. He lives in the Netherlands. Ruth Tindaan of Bugyas, she lives in the Philippines but studied and lived in UK for some years. Aurelia Wagyan of Dilong Abra. She has lived in France for 18 years and she now lives in the Philippines. Averil Branwen Pooten-Watan of Sagada and Busao, and she lives in the UK. Eleanor Ayagan Pooten-Watan, her grandparents are from Mountain Province, and she's in the UK. Mark Sapan Watan is born in San Francisco, but his parents are from Mountain Province. He now lives in the UK. Penelope Gamosal Pooten-Waan, her grandparents are from Mountain Province. She lives in the UK. Glenn Palangdani Yamoyam of Benguet and Mountain Province roots, and he lives in Spain. To each and every one of you, our deepest congratulations on this beautiful and profoundly significant contribution that you have given. May this book travel far and wide, sharing our stories and inspiring countless other Igorots, as well as non-Igorots in the Philippines and the world over. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for acknowledging all of the book editors here. Just in closing then, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today from across the globe, whether you're turning in from Europe and the Philippines or beyond there. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you, celebrating the voices, stories, and experiences of our Igorot Cordillerans community in Europe. The second volume of Travels, Travails, and Triumphs is more than just a book. It's a living testament to our journeys, our roots, and our resilience. Each narrative that was shared today is a powerful reminder of who we are and the paths that we continue to carve for ourselves and the generations after us, especially those of us now living in the diaspora. Thank you to our reviewer. Thank you for your thoughtful insight and reflections. And to all our authors, yes, thank you again for bravely putting your stories onto paper and allowing us a glimpse into your lives. To everyone behind the scenes, my fellow editorial team, your work made today's event possible, and we are deeply grateful. As we close, a few announcements. If you're an author and you'd like to read again at a future event, let us know. Stay in touch. For those who have donated copies, yes, thank you for helping share these stories more widely. And lastly, keep an eye out for the upcoming ICBI conference, those of you, where we'll be continuing to celebrate and uplift the community more. In the meantime, let us continue to uplift, document, and reflect. Until we meet again virtually or in person, take care, stay proud, and keep telling your stories. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so
Thank you.
much, and have a nice Sunday afternoon. For those going to Belgium, we see you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
See
wait
you.
for your copies very soon.
Welcome to Belgium,
Yes.
to the heart of Europe.
Oh.
Welcome to the heart of Europe. You will be welcome in 20 days now. Is it
Yeah.
20 days? How many days?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yes.
Okay.
Something like that. Just take it.
Okay, so thank you. We hope to
Thank
meet
you, everyone.
Bye,
Belgium.
everyone. And
Bye,
that ends our
everyone.
virtual online launch. Okay.
Yeah.